In this video, I'm going to show you the best budget gaming monitors you can get at every price range. No matter your budget, I will help you find the best pick for your needs. Let's go. First, we are going to take a look at the best options in the under $200 range. First, we have the Dell G2524H. I found this to be the monitor for die-hard competitive players with its absolutely screaming fast 280Hz refresh rate on a 24.5-inch 1080p fast IPS panel. While the motion clarity is top tier for hitting your shots, the smaller 1080p resolution feels less immersive for single-player games compared to the other two options. The build quality and stand feels surprisingly solid for the price, but its lower contrast means blacks can look a bit gray in a dark room. Next, we have the ViewSonic Omni VX2728J-2K. This one immediately felt like the perfect middle ground, offering a crisp 1440p resolution on a larger 27-inch screen, which makes games look so much sharper than the Dell. It still packs a speedy 180Hz refresh rate, which is more than enough for most gamers, though its response times are not quite as lightning quick as the G2524H. The colors look great right out of the box, and it has a fully adjustable stand, but you should completely ignore the high dynamic range feature, as it does not get bright enough to make a difference. Finally, we have the Pixio PX277 Prime Neo. This monitor is the value king, giving you a 27-inch 1440p IPS panel with a 165Hz refresh rate. Specs that are very similar to the ViewSonic, but often for a little less cash. The panel itself is surprisingly colorful and feels fantastic for both story-driven games and casual competitive play, punching well above its price tag. To hit that low price, however, Pixio gives you a very basic stand with only tilt adjustment, and the overall plastic build feels a bit cheaper than both the Dell and ViewSonic. Next, we're going to take a look at the best options in the $200 to $300 range. First, we have the AOC Q27G3XMN. This monitor is genuinely impressive for the price, using a mini LED panel that gives you incredibly deep blacks and bright highlights, which makes single-player games look stunning. You get a sharp 27-inch 2560 by 1440 resolution screen with a very smooth 180Hz refresh rate, combining detail with fluid motion. However, because it's a VA-type panel, I did notice a bit of dark level smearing in fast-paced games, making it slightly less responsive than its IPS competitors for pure competitive action. Next, we have the ViewSonic XG2431. If you primarily play competitive first-person shooters, this is the one I would look at, as its 240Hz refresh rate and legendary motion blur reduction tuning deliver some of the best motion clarity you can possibly get. The trade-off is that you are limited to a smaller 24-inch screen and a 1920 by 1080 resolution, which feels less immersive and looks noticeably less crisp than the other two options here. While its IPS panel offers nice colors, the contrast is just average, so it really can't compete with the visual punch of the AOC for story-driven games. Finally, we have the GIGABYTE M27Q. I see this as the solid all-rounder of the group, offering a great middle ground with its 27-inch 1440p IPS panel and a fast 170Hz refresh rate for a responsive and sharp gaming experience. Its killer feature is the built-in KVM switch, which is super convenient if you want to control a work laptop and your gaming PC with one set of peripherals. The main downside I found is its BGR pixel layout, which can make text look a little fuzzy. And like the ViewSonic, its standard IPS contrast is no match for the deep blacks you get from the AOC's mini LED technology. Next, we are going to take a look at the best options in the $300 to $400 range. First, we have the Dell S3422DWG. This 34-inch ultra-wide monitor gives you a massive immersive view with its 3440 by 1440 resolution, and the 144Hz refresh rate feels plenty smooth for most games. I found the VA panel delivers some amazing contrast with the deep inky blacks that look great in dark scenes, but you do get a little bit of black smearing in fast motion, which isn't present on the other two IPS monitors. Honestly, if you're a single player or cinematic game fan who values immersion over pure competitive speed, this curved display is a fantastic and unique choice in this price range. Next, we have the LG UltraGear. This thing is all about speed, packing a ridiculously fast 240Hz refresh rate into a standard 27-inch 2560 by 1440 resolution IPS panel that makes competitive shooters feel incredibly responsive. Out of the box, the colors on this display are vibrant, and the motion clarity is top tier, although when sitting next to the Dell, you can definitely notice the less impressive contrast and some IPS glow in a dark room. If your main goal is getting the highest frame rate and fastest response time for an edge in multiplayer games, this LG is the clear winner for raw performance. Finally, we have the ASUS VG27AQL3A. This monitor feels like the perfect middle ground, giving you a sharp 27-inch 1440p IPS screen with a very respectable 180Hz refresh rate that strikes a great balance for all-around gaming. It has a fantastic feature called ELMB Sync, which cleans up motion blur really well without causing screen tearing, though its raw speed does not quite match the fluidity of the 240Hz LG. I think this ASUS is the jack of all trades here, offering a smooth, feature-rich experience that's great for any game you throw at it, making it a super safe and solid pick. Next, we are going to take a look at the best options in the $400 to $500 range. First, we have the LG UltraGear 27GR93U. Right away, you're getting a crisp 4K picture on a 27-inch IPS panel, which makes games look incredibly sharp and colorful at a smooth 144Hz. While it supports both FreeSync Premium and is G-Sync compatible for tear-free gaming, the VISA Display HDR 400 certification means its high dynamic range performance is pretty entry-level, so don't expect mind-blowing highlights. Compared to the others, this is a solid 4K entry point with great motion clarity, but its stand could offer more adjustment, and the contrast feels a little weak in darker scenes. Next, we have the ASUS ROG Strix XG27UCS, and this monitor takes that 4K formula from the LG and bumps the refresh rate up to a speedy 160Hz for an even smoother experience on its fast IPS panel. I really like the inclusion of a USB-C port, which is great for connecting a laptop or a console, though the 15-watt power delivery is really only enough to charge a phone. Its response times feel excellent, and while its display HDR 400 is also just okay, the stand is way more versatile with a clever groove for your mobile phone, making it a more feature-packed 4K choice than the LG. Finally, we have the Alienware AW2723DF. This is where you have to make a choice, as it ditches 4K resolution for a much faster 280Hz overclocked refresh rate on a 1440p panel. For competitive shooters, this monitor feels incredibly responsive and fluid, and its VISA Display HDR 600 certification provides a noticeably better high dynamic range experience with brighter highlights than either the LG or the ASUS. So while you're sacrificing that pixel density you get on the other two monitors, you're gaining a massive advantage in raw speed and a superior HDR picture, making this the go-to for anyone who values frame rate over everything else. Next, we are going to take a look at the best options in the $500 plus range. First, we have the Alienware AW2725DF. This thing is an absolute speed demon, with its 360Hz refresh rate on a quantum dot organic light emitting diode panel that makes competitive games feel unbelievably responsive. The colors are so rich and vibrant they almost look wet, but that deep color comes from a semi-glossy screen coating that can catch some serious reflections if you have a window behind you. It really feels like a premium product from the moment you unbox it. However, you are definitely paying that Alienware tax for the slick design, when the MSI offers a very similar core experience. Next, we have the ASUS ROG Strix XG27ACDNG. Now, this monitor is a fantastic alternative if you want that high refresh rate without jumping to an organic light-emitting diode panel, giving you an impressive 300Hz on a very fast in-plane switching display. It has a clear edge and brightness over the two OLEDs, which makes it a better fit for a very bright room, but you immediately notice its black levels just cannot compete, looking more like a dark gray in side-by-side comparisons. While its response time is excellent for a liquid crystal display, there is still a tiny hint of motion blur that you simply will not find on the other two monitors, though you also get complete peace of mind about screen burn-in. Finally, we have the MSI MAG 271QP. This MSI monitor is the real champion for your wallet in this group, packing a 360Hz quantum dot organic light emitting diode panel that feels identical to the Alienware's for noticeably less cash. I was surprised to find it also includes a built-in keyboard video mouse switch, which is a great feature for connecting a work laptop that neither the Alienware nor the ASUS included. The only real trade-off I can see is the overall build quality, as the stand and plastics feel a bit less substantial than the Alienware, but given the massive savings for the same top-tier gaming performance, it is a compromise I would happily make. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you found this video to be helpful, leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future.